I started 2025 with my dividend growth stock portfolio valued at $201,000. I ended the year just below $291,000. That was a $90,000 jump in a single year. Now, to be transparent, I didn't make $90,000 in pure profit. I invested aggressively throughout the year, just under $50,000. But the real magic isn't the account balance, it's the compounding that builds up over time. It's from the years of prior investing that got me here, plus a factor that is rarely discussed, which is the income that my portfolio pays me. This is reinvested and adds to the long-term compounding. In 2025, my dividend income grew by 57%, crossing over $7,000 for the year. And now I'm on track to earn over $12,000 in 2026 without doing anything. The real number is going to be a lot higher than that, thanks to future contributions, dividend growth, and dividend reinvestments. In this video, I'm going to show you my best investment of 2025, as well as my biggest mistake, plus my investing goals going into 2026, and some of the stocks I'm buying right now. And if you stick around to the end of the video, I'll share a massive update happening in my business, dividenddata.com. It's going to be a big change for how we research and track stocks going into the year, and it is now in early access for dividenddata.com members. More on that later. If you're a dividend growth investor, this is going to be a must-watch video. My name is Zach, this is Dividend Data, and you should leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the video. First, let's dive right into my portfolio, and then we'll talk about the future and goals for 2026. So my current total value sits at just over $290,000. This is for my dividend growth stock portfolio where I focus on total return and growing dividend income. It is one of my 3 investment portfolios, and I've been sharing it every single month on this YouTube channel going back to 2020 when it was $30,000. And now I have over $117,000 in gains on this account, which is a 67.9% total return. It has changed a lot over the years, and right now I actually only have 7 holdings, and I'm a relatively active investor. I do a lot of research into individual stocks. So for my personal strategy, I've found it useful to focus on more concentrated positions in less names, because realistically, I can't have a deep insight into 20 or 50 different companies and manage that portfolio. However, if you're more of a beginner or just someone looking for more passive investments, I do think that passive ETFs are a great investment strategy, whether it's a dividend-focused one or simply the S&P 500. And if you want to know what some great options for dividend ETFs are, I did about 2 or 3 videos around dividend ETFs a couple months back, and I recommend that you check those out for more insight into that. And in the current iteration of this portfolio, I have some high-yield dividend growth stocks, and those are mainly 2 midstream oil and gas pipelines, Hess Midstream, ticker symbol HESM. I made this a core position in 2025. It's now my top holding, and I didn't even own it going into 2025. I bought most of this in the fall, and I'm still adding to the position, more on my new buys later. I have a 3.88% total return. And then I have some big tech growth companies, things like Microsoft and Alphabet. And I view these really as the core pillars that are driving some of the total return from the growth side. Because although this portfolio is oriented more towards dividends, fundamentally we're just investing in businesses and companies that are highly profitable and growing over time. If we take a look at Microsoft's earnings per share over time, you can see that has a clear track record of high earnings per share growth. And analysts are not expecting that to slow down anytime soon. And to put it simply, dividends are downstream of earnings growth. As an example, Microsoft has been a dividend growth stock, 10-year compound annual growth rate of the dividend around 10%. So that has been a core pillar of mine for a number of years. I have an 80% total return. I also own Alphabet, ticker symbol GOOGL. This is the parent company of Google, and this was practically all built up in the first half of 2025, and I have a 95% total return on that. So as we look at this portfolio at this point, it's really HESM, Microsoft, and Google. That's 65% of this account. So before I dive into the biggest winner of 2025 and my biggest mistake of 2025, let's talk about what stocks I've been buying over the past month. Since my last update, I've invested just over $2,200 in more stocks. That included new buys for Microsoft, $1,430. That was 3 shares at a cost per share of $476. I added to my position HESM, $680. That's 20 shares at a cost per share of $34. I also bought 3 shares of the other high-yield dividend growth midstream company I've been buying, which is MPLX. That was at a cost per share of $53.45. And going into 2026, I'm really looking to continue adding to HESM and MPLX. I'm kind of building these as like core income portions of my dividend portfolio. And Microsoft is also a core long-term holding in this account as well. And if we take a look at what these are paying me, Microsoft's annual dividend is $3.64. That is per share. HESM is $3.02. MPLX is $4.31. And by the way, what I just did there, little tease of something I'll discuss later in the video. But going into the year, collectively, these purchases will add to my annual dividends at $84.22. Those HESM buys, that adds to my dividend income by $60.38. Speaking of that, let's do an updated analysis of my dividend income. Current annual dividends is $12,132. That is forward-looking into 2026. That's about $3,000 a quarter, $1,000 a month, $33 a day, and $1.39 every hour. And I'm really looking forward to building this up in the years and decades to come, because eventually this will be the size of someone earning a high salary in the United States. And that's actual income that my portfolio is generating me on top of the capital gains. And you can see that my highest dividend payers are HESM, Altria Group, MO, and MPLX. Collectively, these make up more than 85% of my dividend income. This January, I should get paid $500 in dividends. February, which used to be my lowest month going into 2025, is now my highest by far, thanks to these midstream oil and gas pipelines. I'll earn $2.1 thousand in the month, and then just under $400 in March. That is when a lot of my big tech companies pay: Microsoft, Google, Visa, and also one of my oil giants I've held for a while, ExxonMobil. That was my biggest winner of 2020, and it's a 277% total return. If we take a look at HESM, my yield on cost is 8.84%, and I've already earned 57.3 shares from dividend reinvestment. So I think this is going to be a huge dividend snowball stock in my portfolio that I'm going to be reinvesting all of that income into buying more shares. And if we take a look at the dividend data for HESM, this has been a consistent dividend growth stock in the market. The 5-year compound annual growth rate is 11.3%. They pay every single quarter, and they've actually been raising their dividend payment every single quarter. Their most recent increase was 2.42%, the one prior 3.8%, the one before that 1.2%. And I built the overwhelming majority of this position after the stock sold off a ton following some news after the Chevron acquisition. And I'll probably do a full HESM stock analysis video in the future. This isn't the video. I could go on for hours about that. And a stock I've owned where you can see this dividend snowball effect at work for a longer time, that would be the Altria Group. I have a 10.1% yield on cost there. But from reinvesting dividends, I've earned 124 more shares in the company, which gives me a 13.7% yield on my initial dollars invested into the stock. I have an 85% total return on this investment, and ultimately the goal really is total return, and you can find that in higher yield stocks. MPLX, I have an 8.93% dividend yield on cost. This has been growing at a 5-year compound annual growth rate just below 10%. And the most recent dividend increase was 12.5%, marking 2 years in a row of 12.5% increases. And really, it's that dividend growth, which is a main reason why these stocks have entered my portfolio. It's extremely rare to find that high of a yield with that reliable of high growth. And as I look at my overall portfolio, every single one of these companies raises their dividend payments on an annual basis. So let's get to my biggest winner of 2025, which is Alphabet, ticker symbol GOOGL. As I mentioned, 95% total return, and this was primarily purchased in the first half of 2025. And if you want to know my reasoning for buying this stock, I recommend you go back and watch some of those videos. It can be a useful lesson to reflect on the reasons for why you potentially got a winner. And this one primarily came from the combination of two kind of skill sets that I've built up over the years. One, I've learned a lot about valuing companies and business models. And Alphabet was trading at a historically low valuation, especially relative to the market, considering they were highly profitable and growing. This was a company that was trading at a 16 forward PE ratio. While it was growing its earnings per share reliably in the double digits, the other factor was that the market was completely mispricing the AI narrative around Google stock. They thought it was a threat to the company and that search was going to die. But there was no ground truth yet to that news. In fact, search queries have grown 10% plus over the past year. I'm someone who's been into tech for a long time, and I follow the space and all the big tech companies. I'm a software developer myself, and I try to keep the ground truth on what's happening in the scene and AI. And frankly, it was fairly obvious to me that Google is one of the best positioned AI companies. Not that they were at risk, they were actually strongly positioned. So throughout the year, as Google's earnings per share started to hit all-time highs with extremely fast growth, and they launched their Gemini 3 model, which was the best on the market at the time and is still probably the best. It was clear that Google was in a very dominant position, and the market started re-rating them higher, and they now trade at 30 times trailing earnings. And if we take a look at the forward-looking earnings per share, probably going to grow into double digits in the coming years. And even after going up 78% over the past 6 months, Google stock still arguably is fairly valued. But it is no longer no-brainer, dirt cheap, crazy buy. So that was my biggest winner of 2025. But that then takes me into my biggest mistake of 2025, which was something that I've heard about a lot in my studying of Warren Buffett. And I'm kind of stealing his quote here. My biggest mistake was a mistake of omission, not commission, meaning it wasn't something that I bought and probably shouldn't have. It was something that I didn't buy or didn't buy enough of. My biggest mistake was not going heavier into Google when the opportunity was there. I knew it. I went relatively heavy. I made it one of the core positions. I own it in another account as well. But I probably should have sold some stuff and concentrated even heavier in that. And in fall 2025, after Google went up, I did concentrate and go heavier into HESM. And I do think that will be a reliable compounder in my portfolio for a while. But I won't be getting a 1 year 95% return like I could have in Google. I knew everything I needed to know that I should go heavier. And to be fair, I did load up on Google during that April tariff sell-off. I probably bought $20,000 or so worth of Google. But at that same time, I also bought some other stocks. I had bought some Salesforce. I think I bought some Microsoft. I started my position in MPLX at that time. I had not yet learned about HESM. That was a back half of 2025 thing. But in hindsight, I had the opportunity to buy some of those stocks, not Microsoft, but some of the other ones, later in the year at similar prices. And I probably should have concentrated more on that Google opportunity. All of the stars were aligning. And I'll give you a little bit of a bonus mistake I had made, which was not even following my own advice and research I do on this YouTube channel. I had done more research and understood Google much better. But at that same time of the April tariff sell-off, I made a few videos where I was talking about this stock, Comfort Systems USA, ticker symbol FIX, and that company has crushed it. You could have bought this in the April tariff sell-off at $328. It's now over $1,000 a share. Earnings per share are still growing at a high rate. This is a low-yield dividend growth stock as well with a extremely sustainable payment. 3-year dividend CAGR of 62%. Payout ratio is still below 10%. If I bought fixed stock in April when I was making these videos, it's a 186% total return since then. And this is something I've started to learn the years that go on with investing. The biggest mistakes are often not things you bought and probably shouldn't have. It's the things that you knew you should have bought, but you either didn't, you sat on your hands, or you did, but you just didn't go heavy enough. Now let's talk about my 2026 investing goals. Now I'm going to be rather conservative with these goals because frankly, I can't control what's going to happen with the market, whether stock prices go up and down, but I can control what I contribute into my portfolio. Now, personally, I'm actually pretty bullish in the coming years for the stock market and economy, especially when we're talking about tech and AI, but anything could happen. So for my total value goal, I'm going to set my milestone I want to hit at $350,000 in this account. And across all of my stock portfolios, I'd like to hit $500,000. So I think with continued contributions, that's something I could reasonably hit. I will also set dividend income related goals. Last year, I earned $7,000 in annual dividends. And given that I'm already projected $12.1 thousand for 2026, I will set my goals for dividends earned around $14,000. And I think that'll be from dividend growth and continued contributions. And I would like to end 2025 with my annual dividend income over $15,000. So on a forward-looking basis going into 2027. Now that may seem pretty conservative considering the growth I had last year, but a lot of that was due to reconfiguring the portfolio into some higher yield names that I started to like, things like HESM and MPLX. And a lot of this is already accounted for in my projected dividend income for 2026. Also, a big part of investing on a personal basis is just making sure you have the money to invest. So in 2026, a lot of my goals are focused around my business. And I'm not going to share all of them today, but they're all pretty much oriented towards growth. If you don't know my business, that's dividenddata.com. It's the research tool I used throughout the entire video. And I ended the year with a huge announcement, which is now in early access for dividenddata.com members. That is dividend data for spreadsheets. I've had people asking for ways to get our data from dividenddata.com into their spreadsheets for their personal portfolio trackers or models they set up. And I have been working on this for months. I have been teasing it as our secret project, and it is now available in early access for testing. It is a Google Sheets add-on. Microsoft Excel is also in development and coming soon. It allows you to access all of our stock data directly in your spreadsheets. And these are things not shown in Google Finance. You can get 30 plus years of stock financials, full financial statements, every single metric you would want. And you can automatically call it directly in your spreadsheet and have it easily update. So what this means is you don't need to have tons of tabs open and be copy and pasting data to make sure your spreadsheet's updated. You don't have to do any of that. You can now call our data directly in the spreadsheet. This will let you build automated watch lists, track your dividends far easier, and pull every single metric you need to do a deep dive into a company. And you will be able to build out crazy in-depth spreadsheets, access any kind of data you need. Here's some examples. You can get the full history for a stock, everything you need to know about the dividends, different metrics. And I built out some pretty in-depth documentation, and more guides and tutorial videos will be coming soon showing you how to use it. But I made 16 custom functions that allow you to call different kinds of data. For example, you can call everything for dividends. You can call every single financial metric you would want, whether it's EBITDA, EPS, EPS diluted, operating cash flow, capital expenditures, free cash flow. You can call every ratio you want, and these functions are very customizable. There's also this great sidebar that will show up. You can search for a stock, get example functions depending on which quick action you want. You can also use those quick actions to easily paste the data. And when you compare the speed at which you can paste this data compared to if you were copy and pasting and searching all these websites, it's insane how fast you can get this stuff into spreadsheets. This is 30 plus years of Microsoft financial statements thrown right into your sheet in seconds. You can get KPIs for a stock instantly in your spreadsheets. So as an example, you could see Microsoft Cloud revenue quarterly in your sheet and use all of the powers of spreadsheets to instantly make a chart that's nice and graphs the data for you. So if you can't tell, I've been hard at work, and I am very excited about the future of dividenddata.com. And I want to reiterate, this is available in early access to dividenddata.com members. And if you're not a member and you want to get access and be one of the first people to try this tool, I'm doing an early access sale for dividenddata.com. The link will be in the description and pinned comment of the video, and you can get 50% off annual membership and lock in that discounted price for life. This is the same deal that we offer at Black Friday and our biggest sales we ever offer. But here's the catch. This low of a price for all of this will never be offered again. After we leave the early access period, there will be some changes around dividenddata.com. All current members are being grandfathered into our pro tier. And to get all the features you're going to get with that base price will be higher. So if you're interested in dividenddata.com and you want to try out this spreadsheet add-on, click the link below to get access to the early access sale. The feature is going to be very exciting. Currently, only the Google Sheets add-on is available. I am hard at work to make Microsoft Excel available, and you should get more news on that in the coming weeks. With that said, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I wish you all a happy new year, and I hope we all have a successful time investing in 2026. See you in the next one.